Alright, needless to say, fellas, I tried this out with sheep to make a hammock. I learned it on Bushcraft and NorCal Bushcraft. His guy was 6'5", but he only weighed about 180 pounds, maybe, that. He made a hammock, homemade hammock out of a sheep. I tried it. I thought, we'll see if it works. If it doesn't, I'll have something to back it up with. Needless to say, if you're in a hot area and it starts sweating real bad, that sheet is not going to work because it's going to get wet, it's going to stretch, it's going to rip, and you're going to be on the ground. Just like I was a little while ago with a torn sheet. So if you're a big guy, don't make a homemade sheet out of a homemade hammock out of a sheet. It's not going to work. And if you're up too high off the ground, you're going to hurt when you get up. Now, and getting the knots undone are a pain in the ass. What I did go get, I stopped the yard sale, and what looks like to be a wool type carpet rug, and I'm going to do it the same way and see if it holds out. Roll it up the same way. What you do is you roll it up like you're pleating the end of it. Take it, pull out about 6 inches and bend it over. You take your paracord, slide it together like this, double it, so it's doubled up. Then you slide it underneath that loop where your sheet is bent over like this. You take your cord and slide it through that loop and then wrap it around it a couple times and make sure you're under this cord right here. If you're under this cord on this side that's coming up, then it will not pull this up out of the way. It won't pull this one up. You bring it around, tuck it underneath, and leaves this up like that, and it pulls your ends tight. You slide this in into your loop, and then it pulls it tight, and then your sheet, basically your sheet can't pull off. Pleat it up the end like this. I'll do a little small demonstration for you so you'll know. Pleat up your end like this, just run it up in your fingers, and you got a wad at the end. Come down about 6 inches, leave your thumb through, bring your piece here underneath, leave you a little bit sticking up, and then bend it back down, your sheet. You want to bend it back down tight like this, so that when you come around it, you want to be under that, come around it tight, and then go back underneath right here. You come back underneath right here, leaves a little loop. You take your other end and you run it through. Once you run it through and you pull this tight, now you can feed this line back down and around and it will tighten up. Once you feed that around, back through and inside, tighten that up, then it tightens the whole end up, and this can't come off. Now if you're using a sheet, it will pull off. It will rip when you get hot and sweaty. The sheet will tear and you'll fall down on the ground. But that's an idea of how to do it. I'm going to try the same thing with this wool carpet rug and see if it holds up any better. And if it doesn't, then we'll be using the ground tarp tonight for sleeping on. Thank you. This is Boyd. Good night.
He says that because the fact is that just about, I don't know what, 10 minutes ago, it failed. He hit the ground. I told him we should have got that on video, but we were still setting up camp. We're at Lake Monroe, Indiana. Look it up. Beautiful area, beautiful lake. And as you can hear, a lot of boats on the water. Labor Day weekend. You'll see that here in a little bit. We're going to go down there and go do some fishing, see if we can catch anything. And we walked from an area, seen a sign that said no camping, so, but I don't think they're really going to say nothing. I think where the no camping sign was
in a flatter area.
A flatter area where it'd be good to camp, but you can't camp there, so I know I'm not real clear in the picture, but we walked about 300 or 400 feet from it on a trail, which trail was hard.
Kind of petered out.
Yeah.
Ain't no trail.
Yeah, there really ain't no trail to where we're at. There's a remnants of a trail, but I think most of it washed out because we were actually down near the bottom, about midway up a hill. And I'll show you that here in a second. We had the church group come by. Well, they're coming back by now. And we don't know if they saw us or not. But we figured we'd try bushcraft this weekend. And thought we'd be hidden, but we're not. I'll see if we can get the people. See if we can see them. You should see them walk by here in a second. As you can see, they're walking by. And they come from way down there. Where we started out at. It's way over there. Way over there where we started out at. 300-400 yards. And we walked the trail from way over there all the way over to here. And if you look, we're kind of about halfway up a hill. It's all sunny up there. Probably even some campgrounds up there. I don't know. But that's where we're at. And there's mine. Can't really see in there. I left it open so we get some air through because it's feels like about 200 degrees up here. You see, I'm standing here sweating. And we're gonna go down there here in a little bit. That's where we're gonna try some fishing. Somebody walking by there. I think they were doing geode hunting. Find a lot of geodes down there. But we're gonna go down there here shortly. Do a little fishing before it gets too late. So with that, we'll end this for now. We'll be back later. We'll be leaving here tomorrow at 4. We got here today about a little after 2. Got set up. I don't know what time it is now. It's probably about 4 or 5. So we got about another couple hours before it starts getting dark. So, and then we're going to build a fire and probably cook some supper and sit around and talk all night, I guess. All right. And we'll be back later. All right, here we are. This is the lake. This is the lake where we're bushcrafting at tonight. Like I say, there was a sign that said no camping, but we're down here on the rocks now. Got my fishing pole. Caught one bluegill. So, and here's Adam. He's wet. He's set down in the water.
Going to again here in a minute.
Yeah, we're sitting down here. Waves are coming in from the boats off their wake, so that they're putting. So like this guy here, he's hauling. So pretty good. So far, so good. We're going to start a fire and cook here a little bit down here on the rocks, probably right in this area here, since it's so dry, and see all the wood we got in the area. So, yeah. We're just beginning bushcrafters. Yeah, I got my glasses on again. I'm blind. I can't see. Can't see up close.
No matter what you do,
we're beginners, so.
We remember the one main thing. Always hydrate. Always hydrate.
Yeah, it's hot. We've had plenty to drink. I think we got probably about 2 gallons of water with us. Plus we got, I don't know how many millions of gallons in this lake. If we need it, we can boil it and drink it. So. Other than that, yeah, Adam's got some food here, so let's see here. Yeah, you got trail mix there.
Pecans, peanuts, plums, raisins, chocolate.
Now you can see
walnuts.
See the chocolate. You can see how hot it is. It melted the chocolate. So
gotta keep yourself, keep your protein.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how well you can hear this, but with all the water. But we'll check back in later throughout the night. Periodically we'll check in, see how the fire goes and stuff. There's what we're catching. Bluegill, small bluegill. It's the second one I caught in like 3 hours.
No bigger than his hand.
Yeah.
Gave him trouble getting it in. He thought he had a heck of a fish on it.
Yeah. caught one earlier in the boat. I caught the only fish in the lake. I was wrong, too.
Maybe it's the same one.
It might be. No. Here we are. I don't know how well you can see it. The wind picked up all of a sudden. And I do mean all of a sudden. We got thunder in the area. Still see some sunshine and stuff, but the wind is just blowing like crazy. I'm getting white capping out there in the water. It's not from the boats. Slide my shoes on here. I'll take you down to the water. There's Adam getting his ridgeline. Where'd he go? There he is. He's trying to get his ridgeline. We'll get his ridgeline up here in a minute and get a tarp over it in case it does start raining. There's only a 30% chance, but we might be wrong on that. Now the weatherman is. So, pretty bad. Looks like a pretty bad situation right now.
Across the river or across the lake over there, it looks terrible.
Looks bad. Probably be okay though. I mean, about the only thing we got to worry about is water rushing down, and I don't even think that's going to be an issue. But the wind is like crazy.
It came all of a sudden.
Yeah, wind. I said let's quit fishing, go up there and get ready to cook something to eat. All of a sudden we had wind. So. Get my walking stick here. So I gotta go. Adam needs help. Alright. As you can see, you may not be able to see. I got the camera on me, but there we go. Oh. Anyway, we got a bad storm here. They just got here, so we're going to be here for about 2 hours in this storm. So we'll see what happens. As you can hear it there, pretty loud. We can hear it. We're in it. Got a lot of lightning with it. Can you hear the rain? It's on my tarp. I got everything pulled up and can't really see, but it's going to be pretty wicked. I got to wait this out for about 2 hours. Alright. Check in with you later. There we go.
Hi. It's the next morning. It rained all night. Barely got our tarp set up right before it started raining. Wind picked up. Was blowing rain in all different directions. We figured out we're going to have to do some things different. Pack needs to be lighter. Tarps need to be changed a little bit. Position of the hammock needs to be changed a little bit. Although that carpet hammock I was telling you about, it did work. It worked out just fine. After the rope broke and I retied it. But other than that, it worked out pretty good. I slept all night, sunk down in it. Pulled the blanket right up over top of me. It was real don't step on that. So,
yeah.
But other than the wind and rain blowing in from the side, I slept pretty good. Now Mike on the other hand, was crawling all over the place. And I was snoring, cutting logs, and he couldn't have heard a sawmill over the top of me over there snoring. We got up this morning. I built me a small fire right there under my tarp. Dry my pants off part of the way. We had some coffee and beef stew with rice in it for the morning. I had a cappuccino in an old can. And Mike had some apple cider. And the funny part is, and I'll let him tell you that, is he's slightly on a hill. It's like a 28-degree slant where he put up his tarp and he slept on the ground. It's funny. I'll let him tell you all about it. He lost his phone, can chew,
my glasses.
He lost about everything. Now my stuff did get wet. Some of my stuff got wet, even though I had it up off the ground because the wind and rain was blowing in sideways. Got some of my clothes wet. They'll dry out if I hang them up. Let them set up for a couple of hours.
That's another reason why I want to go down there by 2.
But
It'll be in the sun.
I'll let Mike tell you about his fantastic night. I'll show you his tarp set up and everything while he's talking to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna show him. There's my shoes. They're still wet. I walked out there in the lake yesterday, about knee deep, so I can get my line unstuck. Here's my tarp. Oh, as you can see, it's pretty steep grade there. A little flat spot right there. It's not as flat as what I want it to be, but it's flat. And I think I've lost everything. I can't find my glasses. I don't know where they're at. I know they're in there somewhere, and they're probably in something, but can't find them. My cell phone, I lost it. I had to look for it at about 2 o'clock in the morning.
You looked for a long
I looked for a long time. I unpacked everything, packed it back out. I was like, I know it's here. It couldn't have went too far. I figured it probably slid down the hill, because it's pretty steep grade here. But it was definitely an interesting night. The storm moved in. It blew and blew and blew till about 1 o'clock in the morning. And it finally just quit. Then Adam's mom called us and said we were doing better than they were. They lost power. The wind was blowing like crazy.
Yep.
Found out why, because there was tornado warnings all over.
Through the night.
There was tornado warnings all over, I guess, southern Indiana last night. And this is what is today? 1st?
Sunday, I think.
Is it September 1st?
Heck, I don't know.
It's either August 31st or September 1st.
Day, I know that.
Tomorrow's Labor Day, so whatever that is, we don't know. I could tell you if I could find my phone, if I looked at my phone, but I'm not.
You can find it again.
Well, I know where it's at now. It's in the EDC bag, but yeah.
Tell them how big your packing stuff is too.
Yeah, I'll do that after I get it all packed. One thing about it, I did figure out that my pack is way too heavy.
Sleeping bag.
My sleeping bag takes up too much room, which I'm either gonna get a smaller sleeping bag, or I'm gonna find me a couple of wool blankets or one big wool blanket and use it, because it's too much. Because it takes up so much room in the bag that everything sets up higher, so you got all this weight on top of the pack instead of on the bottom.
Going hiking up in the mountains.
So, but yeah, other than that, we didn't do too bad. I think we will survive till about 4 o'clock. We got to go and meet his cutout. We'll show you pictures of it when we leave. When we get up there anyway, I'll get the camera out and take pictures of that. We'll get down here on the water. There's not so many boats out today as there was yesterday, but there's going to be a lot. Temperature's supposed to get up to about, 95 today?
No.
95, so humidity's going to be like 100%.
Especially sitting next to the lake.
Yeah, sitting next to the lake. So, we'll get that done. We're going to pack up here shortly and get moving. We're being slow about it.
Well, we got all day. So.
Yeah, we got all day, so. Other than that, I think we'll be okay there, and we'll show you around where we're at here. Get my hand out from in front of the camera. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how well you can see all that, but the lake through the trees there. I don't know if they're pulling ski or not. Some people are out here skiing. No, they're not pulling anybody. But I think we didn't do too bad by this washout. One thing I can say, I have seen so many spiders, or granddaddy long legs, and some other ones, I don't know what they were.
Wolf spiders down here too.
Ants like crazy.
Mike thought he set his tarp and stuff up on an anthill.
I think I did. You'll see when I move that tarp, you'll see all the damn ants. So, other than that, we're not doing too bad for not having food overnight.
I'm going to lighten a few things up and change a few things around, and I'll let you know how much I spend next time.
Yeah, well, I'm not
Make it a little easier on myself.
I'm not bringing that sleeping bag next time. I'm gonna get rid of the sleeping bag. I'm gonna get something kind of other blankets.
That rug hammock works real good, but I'm gonna go with a more traditional hammock, the netting type, and then I'll use that carpet rug and slide over the top of me. Because in the morning times around 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock, it gets a little bit chilly out.
Yeah, I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning hearing him. Sawing logs.
Sawing logs, boys.
Yeah, so.
I'm 40 years old, and if I can get out here and still do it, you fellers can too.
Yeah. He's an old fart. But.
Over there, you ain't 2 years younger, you dumbass.
Yeah, but anyway, that's the deal. We're going to shut this down for a little bit, and we'll check back in on our way out once we get everything packed up, and we'll probably going to go down the water, pack everything up, go down the water. You can see through there.
I can go down there and wash off these clothes.
Right through there is where we go. There's a little trail that goes right down there. And so that's our trail to get down to the water. And once you get down to the water, it's not bad, and walking is going to be pretty easy. As you seen yesterday, if we walk through that way, about 300 or 400 yards, we're at a area. Hear that boat with their music blaring. But yeah, like I say, you go about 300 or 400 feet straight in that direction, straight that way, you will come into where we came in at. There's actually used to be a trail, I guess, that brought you to where we're at now, but we didn't find no trail.
Not much of a trail if it was here.
Yeah, I think it's been washed out and everything, and so most people are taking the trail and going straight up the top of the hill, which is probably what we should have did, but we wanted to be down near the water, so that's what we did. So.
And I'll tell you what, it worked out good because I slept like a baby all night long.
Yeah. Yeah, so well, we'll get back with you guys here shortly. Get in the water.
Plop in the water.
All right. Now here we are, back at the lake. We just walked down. There's the trail we took yesterday. Let me go up here and show you.
Come on.
Yeah, this trail, we were only 300 or 400 feet through the woods in that direction. And you kind of see, let me go over here a little bit more. Kind of see we had to go through. You gotta go up and down, and there's washouts. There's a washout right up there, about 50, maybe 50 yards. It's slide down it, go down. So we're about 300 or 400 feet that way. But it was a hard way getting there. We later discovered that if you go down there, don't know if you can see, right through there, that sandy gravel stuff is all the way down to right where we were camping at. So that's the way we came back today. And I'll go back down there on that in a minute because we set our packs down. But we'll go up here and talk to Adam. What did we learn, Adam?
Well, learn to check your surroundings a little bit better before you pick a spot. Learn what you do need and what you don't need. Set up in your backyard if you have to. Wait till the night that it's gonna rain.
Yeah.
Set up in your backyard.
Yeah, see, Adam had that red bag.
I can fit everything. I realized I can take all the stuff that I had. I brought 2 bags, and both of them were stuffed full. I realized now I can bring only this bag and lash my hammock to the bottom of it, my tarp, my cooking utensils, all my Medicare stuff in there, my grill, an extra bag of chips, all my trail mix, everything I got is in this one bag. The only thing that's in that bag over there is clothes. I can do without that. I can take a dip in the lake bath.
Yeah, he's talking about the camouflage one. He brought this wood saw, which wasn't a bad idea, but we didn't need it. I have a collapsible saw. And in that black backpack here, we found it walking through the woods. So we found it laying back there along the trail, so we got it.
And I can use it now, strap it straight to my back, and then take this one and lay it over the top of it.
Yeah.
And I might be able to take everything that's in this bag and put it straight into that bag.
Yeah, so
the thing that I learned is camp out in your backyard a couple times, carry your pack around, take what you think you're gonna need, throw it on your back, and walk a mile on it. By the time you get to wherever you're going to figure out what you can do without. And then walk a mile back. By the time you get to the house, I guarantee you're gonna figure out what you can do without. If you're gonna do a hammock setup with a sheet, make sure it don't rain, because once it gets wet, whether it's old or new, it's gonna stretch. Get you something real nice and tight like this real thick wool blanket here. Get you something real thick that's got a real strong fiber to it, and use it. I tried making my own pack. That camouflage pack there is an old winter army shirt. I just tore the sleeves off, just sewed it down there and sewed it across the bottom, sewed it up the middle, and then left the top open. And I sewed some straps to it. But I tell you what happens is when you get out in the woods a little ways, if you ain't got these nice handy straps like this or like these that have been sewed down in the seams, what happens is it gets wet with sweat, starts stretching. Before you know it, your straps fall off and you're carrying that sucker in your hands and trying to hold on to the trees and terrain at the same time. It's worth the effort to go find you something better. It's worth it, trust me.
And as for me, I know what I'm not bringing next time. See, I got all kinds of stuff here on the outside of my pack. Trekking poles I need for my tarp setup. But if I go buy me a bivvy, I won't need that. But this pack probably weighs about 50 pounds. My sleeping bag comes to about right here. So I need to get me my sleeping bag comes to about right there where my hand is.
Got right there in that little black bag.
And I would, I'd do better without that. If I do without the sleeping bag and just get me a couple blankets, I would be good, because the sleeping bag takes up over half my pack. So, but yeah, without the sleeping bag, I would do a lot better. A lot of the stuff I know I need my mess kit and my like little billy pot thing that I got. And
did you ever find your tube?
So, yeah. But yeah, so all in all, this is actually a canoeing pack. Turn it around here. I'm shooting this.
Nice bag.
Yeah.
It really is. Got it pretty cheap. But
I've seen them online. They sell for about $60. Got the pocket here on the front. Got the sides cinched down to make your bag skinnier if you need it to be. Like I've got it to hold my tools and stuff in. So there's some things I can do without, and I know what they are now. I thought the sleeping bag was going to be an issue, and I was right. So, and this is my everyday, my EDC bag. I carry this every day, just about everywhere I go. So, but I lost all kinds of things last night. Let me tell you about my night. First off, I was talking earlier, I lost the cell phone. Well, I didn't lose it. It slid underneath me while I was sleeping because I was on the side of a hill. Couldn't find it. I have a knife. Don't know where it's at. It was a nice knife too.
Light.
Oh, my light.
You lost your flashlight, didn't you say?
No, I found it. I found the flashlight. I lost the flashlight. I lost the flashlight. I looked for it, found it. And then now I got a knife. I know it's packed. I don't know where. I'll find it. It's a nice little pocket knife, nice little frost cutlery pocket knife. Half serrated. Well, it was full serrated, but I sharpened. It got broke, and I found it and took the serrations off of it. But anyway, it was a bad night. It was funny though. I mean, we had fun, we laughed, and we actually had cell phone reception, which is kind of a good thing, but also a bad thing. But we found out from Adam's mom at 1 o'clock in the morning when she called us that
we were doing better than
they were, because tornadoes were in the area, which we didn't know about. I had my ham radio, but nobody said anything about tornado warnings being issued. We hear about them the next day. They were more south of us, so down around Bedford. We had tornadoes. We had strong winds here. Don't get me wrong. They were probably 40, 50 mile an hour winds at the peaks, but it wasn't that bad. Like right now, you can probably hear the wind that's blowing behind me. It's coming from my back. So let me turn this way here. You can see me better. But all in all, it wasn't too bad. We'll show you where we took off at here. This is where we're at. And people who are from this area know what this place is. It's a cutout And the best we can figure, it was made because there's a dam right over there on the other side of them trees. And the line of trees right here, there's a dam on the other side of there. It's a earthen dam.
This is lower than that.
And this is lower than that. And on the other side of them trees is actually the creek, the spillway, and the creek actually for the dam. And if water gets up too high, it'll flow through here instead of making the dam weaker on the other side. Because to get to the dam, you actually got to go where that green truck just going. You follow that road, it takes you right to the other side of the dam. So, but anyway, yeah, that's the deal there. But this is a nice area. You used to be able to park all the way back here. You can't no more.
It'd be nice if they'd laid this where when it's down low in the summer like this, you can camp here.
Yeah, they don't want. Yeah, they don't want no camping here at all. None at all. Which I can understand. They don't want a lot of trash here and stuff like that. But it'd be a nice little camping area for people. And I suppose if you got special permission from DNR, you could probably camp here. But yeah, there's that wall, and there's one on this side too. You can't see it right now, but it goes up about the same, right through in these trees here. Let me see if I can walk out here and show it to you. And they got trails that go on top of both of them. Yeah, you can see it a little bit here. Let me go over here. I'll walk through the grass here. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. I don't know how well this is showing up. That's all just a rock cliff all the way up there to probably 30 feet below them trees on top there. But it's a nice area. So definitely interesting. People out here tubing. It's more of a recreational lake. A lot of boats. Stuff like that, but not too bad. But anyway, all in all, for our second time of doing this, I don't think we did too bad. First time we did it was in my backyard. Everything worked. Of course, you're right there by the house. Cooking, the way we cooked worked. The way we set the tents up worked.
The cooking didn't go bad down here.
Yeah, the cooking didn't do it too bad. Cooking actually did. We did really good. Adam found this nice little tea kettle is actually what it is, but yeah, he let him get down here and show his kettle. It's a nice little tea kettle. It's got a whistle on it. He got it for $1 at a garage sale, he says. And it's not that. It actually worked really good for. He made some Roman noodles. I used my billy pot thing, cooked some chunky beef stew, vegetable beef stew. Then what else was there? Oh, and this morning he had my other can of beef stew and rice and stuff.
That little pot right there. It holds a full-size Gatorade bottle.
Yeah.
It'll hold every bit of that water from that Gatorade bottle.
Pull this up here. Nice little pot in there.
And then when you're ready to pour, you pull that back and it stays back.
Yeah, if you're trying not to be hidden, we were playing around with it. You can leave it down, and it didn't whistle. With this, it didn't whistle real loud. But when you closed it down, it didn't whistle. It was kind of like
it's more like a steamy air.
Yeah, it just I don't know how you want to describe it. It wasn't real loud though. It actually was really, really good. We didn't really try nothing this time. We didn't show. We didn't test no knives or anything like that. We tested ourselves and our gear. Found out there's a lot more things we need to learn. But that little pot for $1, that ain't too bad of a deal.
And then I got this little mixing bowl here too.
Yeah, he has this little dog food bowl, as he calls it.
Mom calls it a mixing bowl, I call it a dog food bowl.
Yeah, but it works. As you can see, it got a little sooty.
The biggest thing you want to find if you're looking for pans for cooking out is something with no seam on the bottom. Because if it's got a seam on the bottom, if it gets hot enough, that seam will start to spread apart and you'll start losing food in your fire. Good stainless steel mixing bowl, can't go wrong with that.
Now, what I use to cook, that sun's gonna mess me up. What I use to cook is a bacon grease. My grandmother used them for bacon grease, but it's a grease pan, a grease catcher. Buy them at Walmart. They're $5. They're aluminum. I know some people don't want to use aluminum. If you're boiling water, hey, it's going to boil water pretty quick. If you get too hot, yeah, it'll melt. But for the most part, it ain't too bad. Then I actually got an aluminum mess kit. Some other, good or bad, either way, I don't think we did too bad for what we had to go through. Storm lasted, actually, we thought 2 hours, but it was like 4 hours. It started like at 8.
It was supposed to go off at 10.
Yeah, we heard 10 on the ham radio, and 10, the worst of it was past us, but it never really
followed it.
Here, it didn't really quit at the lake. It didn't really stop. It kept going and going and going and going and went till probably
about 1:30.
About 1, and we finally got to cook something about 1. It's got a little fire going and stuff. So it was definitely interesting. We're going to be leaving here in a few hours. Adam's going to go down and probably get in the water.
I got to wash these clothes off. Been playing around in the mud.
Yeah, so now I'm going to probably, I don't know if I want to throw a fishing line out or not. I might just set up here in the shade and take it easy. Doze off or something.
I told him to bail off in the water.
Yeah.
Might as well enjoy it.
Yeah, but all in all, not too bad. I might go swimming too, who knows. I ain't been swimming in the lake for a long time. So, all right, well, we're going to end this here, and we're going to do some things here before our ride gets here. And Adam takes a bath. Adam! Want some soap?
Huh?
You want some soap? Want some soap?
Soap? Wouldn't hurt. I don't think this water was good.